The all-new Inside Sources. Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
And welcome back to Inside Sources. Remember, you can stream us on the KSL News Radio app, sponsored by @YourServicePros. So, AI. It's in your home, your job, even your shopping cart. We're talking about, of course, AI, as we've been talking about it all week.
All week.
I don't know, Holly. I just haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet.
It's an age breakdown thing, right? I didn't even know you could use AI for your shopping cart. I guess you could say, get me a recipe and make a shopping list. Text me. I don't even know. So there was a new study that caught my eye. This is from the Associated Press, and it said 60% of Americans overall use AI to find information at least some of the time. So I do, right? I'll use it sometimes, but 74%, so basically 3/4 of those under 30 are using it regularly. So information is the number one thing, but it's coming up with ideas and work tasks and helping to write emails. So the other day we talked about using AI in a job search, right? And you asked, well, could it do a cover letter or customize a resume? Yes, of course it can do that, right? And one of the things that was outrageous that our producer Caitlyn noticed was people are using AI prompts to give them answers as they're actually interviewing. So that's kind of wild. And Caitlyn's joining us because she can represent
the young generation.
Right.
AI, the 74%.
I think this is very interesting. As I was kind of reading the article, there were different things mentioned, like searching information was one of the top things, but I also saw, photo and video creation and brainstorming was very popular among the younger generation, which that is something that I use very often. I have mixed feelings about AI, but I do believe it is a very strong tool. People may just be afraid of it, but the reason I have mixed feelings is because I worry that, if we're just talking about the creative field outside of this job, I do photo and video and social media work and stuff like that. So I'm very embedded into the content creation world. But I worry that it kind of it makes you not think for yourself a little bit. But I also can see how it can help you think more. It's think smarter, not harder, if that makes any sense. It's like brainstorming with a person, but it's just the AI bot that you're brainstorming with. I just don't like the copy paste. I always get an idea and try to riff off of that. Yeah. If that made any sense at all, please tell me if it doesn't.
No, for me, it makes sense. And, one of the things that as I read this, so the shopping cart, I still don't even see how you use that for AI.
I can help you. I know how to do that.
Okay, tell me. How do you use AI for a shopping cart?
I've used it in a few different ways. You can say, create a meal plan for me. And if you have specific dietary needs, like gluten-free, or I just want chicken and turkey in this meal plan, it will kind of create a meal plan, a recipe book, and even a shopping list to go for that. So you can kind of get guidance on that. You can also say, I have these ingredients. What meals can I make? And it can just kind of give you ideas in that way.
So I guess I'm thinking, it sounds like you can do on your computer, right? You can type that in and assume that AI can come up with
whatever. Yeah, it's like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, any of those that you can use.
Interesting.
So I guess my fear, Caitlyn, is this. The legal profession has taken a pounding with AI. And so for me personally, I write motions, I write briefs, I write letters, and I think I don't want to be that attorney that ends up on KSL News Radio because he or she gets busted using AI. So this is crazy. I've never used it. I don't use it. I don't even have whatever called app or whatever. What am I missing out on?
Well, it's just a matter of, it's like that brainstorm. But I agree with you. There is a fine line there. And that's why, because I worry about plagiarism. We work in journalism. That's why it's not something I use to write, really. I just, in my video work, and if I'm making a video for myself or doing social media for my freelance and whatnot, I try to brainstorm ideas. But I'm not not a copy paste, because I don't know where they're pulling it from. But it does kind of just spark the idea of that's interesting the way they did that. You can also create photos and videos with AI now. And so in my world of photo and video, I worry about copyright, about where they're stealing that from. And maybe it's not being stolen. I don't know. But that's something I've used it when I've created YouTube thumbnails to brainstorm an idea for a thumbnail. I don't know if I'm speaking a different language to you, but it's just the image that you click on when you see a YouTube video. but it just, for me, it sparks it. But like I said, other people are probably just using it, and it kind of worries me because it's all going to be generated AI content, and nobody's going to be original anymore.
It's so interesting to me. It's just such a shift, right? And so one of the things yesterday that our 10-year-old showed me, she showed me a little video, and it's got these cute little doggies, and they look real. And we watch dog videos because they're fun, right? Mm-hmm. So she showed me this little video, and it's these little doggies, and she said, "This is AI." And then as I looked at it, it was like totally miniature, smaller than a fingernail because they were scrubbing a human fingernail. It's like, well, clearly that's AI, right? But she uses AI all the time, and it's like, oh my gosh, Kate, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
She does it for skincare routines as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Right, which is wild. And in fact, our son who lives at home with us, he said to her, he goes, "Can you create a morning routine for me?" Mm-hmm. And she did, but she did it using AI. What are recommendations for a 30-year-old male?
Yeah,
Right?
this is the think smarter, not harder. It can be that tool for you, or it can even, like, if you take notes, organize your notes for you. People use this when they're in school, or just anybody taking notes. There's so many ways to use AI if you are in any workplace as well. But I feel like there's that fine line, even in school though, like writing essays. Things like that. That's something I know that, schools have been trying to figure out how that works. But yeah, I think it's very interesting, and I love it as a tool though.
So I want to go back to something you said and tweak it with something I said. You developing a meal plan, turkey, chicken, whatever, maybe gluten-free, maybe Mediterranean. I would be afraid that I'm going to start getting flooded with ads and promos for that kind of a thing.
Yeah, you probably will.
on the other hand, I have information that's private that I wanted, if I wanted to write a brief, and I don't understand how I keep that private. You know what I mean? If a client gives me information, but I want AI to help me develop a plan or a brief or something based on that.
I probably wouldn't put that one into AI if it's, confidential information. Honestly, that would be concerning to me because you are putting it into an internet.
That's what I mean. Right?
Yeah, that's the fine line there. Yeah. For me, it's very general. It's like, hey, rewrite this sentence.
Right.
Or help me draft a video outline about this topic. And I just when I use it for that reason, it's not going to hurt anybody. My information's not getting out there. I don't know. Maybe it's tracking other things, but it does help.
So ChatGPT is considered OpenAI, which means really it's not proprietary, and anybody can come take information from that. And so it has learned by what's out there. And certainly there have been actors and writers who have said, look, they're taking my creative content and they're trying to train AI on that content. But I'll say, for example, as a writer with my newsletters, or not my newsletters, but the articles that I write for the newspaper, that's all public information now. Mm-hmm. And so I could tell ChatGPT, go read every article I've ever written on a refugee, and then write me a haiku in my voice, right? And it could do something like that.
And it would. Yeah.
It would.
And it's impressive. I'm impressed by AI most of the time, but I'm worried about, like, okay, is there am I stealing this content from somebody else? But it's just a brain, and you kind of train AI, as you said, like ChatGPT, the more you use it, and it kind of gets to know you better. But yeah, I don't know. As you say, like anything with personal information,
You're going to have to pay some private company to do private AI.
Not for lawyers, unless they use it. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah. It's not my qualification.
Yeah, I guess I need to learn more about open and closed source and how you can keep information private.
You pay for it.
Yeah, interesting. So I'm going to have you teach me AI.
Okay. I'll teach you today. I have multiple things on my phone.
Good idea.